so glad you're with us today. Today we're talking about living intentionally and really a life of purpose. Molly, what's that thing that you always say with your Mondays?
Yes, it's my favorite meme. When you wake up in the morning and your feet hit the floor, does the devil say, "Oh no, she's up"?
So that's a woman living out of purpose every day. As she's up, she's going for what God has called her to do.
Yes.
So what would you guys say? Is that something that you live actively? Are you living off lists?
Yeah, I would say my life is less structured now than probably any point in my life. Because you're from raising children to having a business to now it's kind of my business is a hobby, fun thing, and actually it's so nice because I have always been that list maker, have the spiral notebook on my desk that
Production.
Yes, and then you get to cross off 5 things, but then you add 10 more. Yeah. It's just kind of like this revolving
That's
thing.
how life.
It is. It is. So I have operated, but that can absolutely wear you out.
Yeah.
And I've always said when my bandwidth is taken up, then it's done. So we all have a physical, emotional bandwidth. And so I would just be careful with that. That's who you are. Protect yourself with that. Give out to others. Do what God's asking you to do. But He understands our limitations as well, and be able to say, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do that," or "No, that won't work for me." It's okay.
Because we're never at our best if we're worn out.
No.
So in order to be at our best and live purposely, that is one of the things, is being able to say no. And I think it's easier. Would you think, ladies, the older we get, the easier it is to say no?
Yes, because we're more comfortable in our own skin. We don't have to please people. We don't have to please, we're not competing against other things. We're just at a point in our lives where we can be happy with who we are.
And sometimes you're just tired out.
Yes.
I am.
Or even just evaluating, is this in my core values? Is this in my purpose that I want to live out?
Yeah.
I think you have to know what your core values are, what your purpose is, and then kind of regulate everything against that.
Yeah.
And that can change.
Yes.
From year to year. God calls you to do this thing this year. And I think that doing what we're doing here with the chat has been, we've had to be intentional. Y'all have no idea how intentional we've had to be today when we did some recording.
It's hard.
And
Yes,
it's like
it
the camera, the sound wasn't right, the camera's not working.
The tripod fell over and broke.
Right. So we just keep going because we're intentional to get this done.
We
to
do.
encourage
Yes,
others.
we do. So we feel intentional to want to reach out to women.
Yeah.
And
encourage them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have to slow down too, and that's part of it, is that we can't go a million miles a minute. And maybe we did more of that when we were younger, but now, being intentional, you got to slow way down and figure out, again,
Yes.
is that your purpose?
Yes.
All right, so what about setting some goals and working toward those goals and taking action? Do you guys do that? That's kind of part of being intentional. You've got to set some goals.
Well, for me, I live in a neighborhood that has mostly retired people, and it's kind of a condo association, and so we've gotten quite a few new people in during this COVID move in and out area, and so I have gathered up the ladies to go out to lunch, and I'm trying to one by one have them to my house for a cup of coffee, just to get to know them a little bit better. I mean,
That's
it's
so
just,
kind.
yeah, it is. I mean, you feel better when you live somewhere and you actually know someone. So that's kind of an intentionality in a subject that I'm working on.
So cool. How about you, Mom?
Well, specifically being intentional, I have, I do a lot of studying, a lot of researching. That's very
And
intentional.
you pass that down to other people.
Yes, I'm kind of like this pass-through of, so that's what I feel like my calling has been for the last year and a half. And it's been quite a journey. It's been
And
very
you
exciting.
host groups and you teach and things like that. So yeah, that's being intentional.
Well, you have to do all that studying in order
Yes.
to share.
Yes.
Well, for me, I had heard an awesome podcast on the lady that started this, Cultivate What Matters. And I heard it at the end of last year, and I bought this book, and I had every intention, which I do live out of intention. And I wrote down, and it really helps you work through goals and just an overview of your year, and it actually breaks it down month to month. I've gotten through about half the year, and then I've kind of slowly doing less and less. But
That's impressive.
I think living, some people like myself, I need to think it through, write it out, things that I want to do this year. And that makes me do it.
Yes.
So I think, like Cindy said, we all have to just figure out what's, how we all work individually.
Good point.
So the other things that they said was to be a good listener and share a little kindness when we're being intentional to others. And I think that's something we can all do every day, living intentionally by making somebody else's day a better day for them.
And ways to do that: a text, a phone call, a loaf of bread. I don't know, what other ways can you share kindness with people? A note of appreciation. You know, just reaching out, the personal touches that seem to be missing now.
And our little thing that we could do for someone else is a big thing for the receiver.
Yes.
Like Cindy said, a text. If you get in your heart that person is maybe needing a good word, sending that can make all the difference to that person for that day. And that is living out of intention, making the world a little bit better.
Right. Just encouraging them to keep on keeping on.
That's right.
So, friends, we're just trying to be intentional every day ourselves, and we know that that's just the world we live in, and we're just encouraging you to try to do that every day too.
Remember, a joyful heart is good medicine.